Hello, welcome everybody. I hope everybody can see me and hear me, and we're here in Devstream number 2. We're here to talk about the alpha. I got my graphic. My name is James Penca. I am the creative director of Titanic, Honor and Glory. Um, I apologize for last week's technical difficulties that we had. I've rearranged my setup, and I have much better internet this time. So there should no longer be any red fuzziness, though I've said that out loud. So the internet gods are going to strike me down. So we will see. As I said, I'm James. We're in Devstream number 2. We are here to talk about the alpha. Before I bring on our special guest for the week, I just want to, on behalf of everybody on the team, I want to say thank you to our fans for these last 2 weeks. They have been a lot of fun, but it's been sort of an overwhelming experience to see the support from everybody. We knew when we went in to make these changes 6 months ago, and we decided to sort of turn the game on its head for the sake of actually making the game. We knew there'd be a lot of people who would be disappointed. We were cutting certain features, but we were going to focus on the ship, and we knew, maybe 60% of our fan base who were here mostly for Titanic would be super excited and super grateful that we were doing this, but there'd be that 40% who'd be a little disappointed. But it has truly been like 95% of you are just like so excited. At the worst, disappointed that a feature might not be what we originally thought, but understand that we need to do this. And then for the 5%, I still think we can win you guys over because we have so much that we're still planning. You may be disappointed that the murder mystery storyline is gone, but we have our own story that we're working on. So there's time. So I just want to say thank you, and I hope over the last 2 weeks you guys have seen a difference from our side of things in terms of reaching out, transparency, and whatnot. We're doing our best to back up what we said 2 weeks ago, and we got a lot of work to do. So, but enough of that. Let's get into this. So let me first double check that everything is going well. Little quiet volume apparently. So let me try and turn up my mic a little bit. I don't know if that did anything. I'll just be closer to the mic. Okay, sorry if I was a little quiet. So let's see, where was I? So at the end of the stream, as with all of our streams moving forward, we are going to do a round of questions. There's a way for you guys to ask questions, and at the end of the stream, we're gonna have hopefully a little more time this week than we did 2 weeks ago to do questions. If you can, on YouTube or Twitch, wherever you're watching, or on Reddit if you'd like, you can put in brackets, just put question, all caps. That'll help us see your question, and ask questions about the alpha. We keep it on topic. We will answer those questions every week. When we do a stream, we'll do questions, and we will try and keep it focused on the topic of that week. So alpha focused questions only, please. And then we have super chats back on this week. If you guys have like a burning question that must be addressed, or something you have to say, I have henchmen looking at the super chats, making sure that we get all those in. So feel free to do that. So yeah, we're full of questions, I'm sure, and we have a bunch of answers. So, and last thing before we bring in our guest, we're gonna have a giveaway. There's going to be a little mini gift giveaway at the end of the stream. We'll do something so you guys can maybe get something. out of us today. So, along with this stream. So, here we are. Let's bring on, this is our guest for the week. He knows, or the bi-weekly, whatever. He knows more about this alpha than anybody. He's really uh, made this sort of thing happen since the transition started. And he is our technical and art director. His name is Dominik Tezyk. We went over how to say his last name right before this started. Let's bring him on. Let me make sure you're on here. Hi, Dominik.
Hi, James.
How are you?
A little bit nervous, but I'm doing good.
Good, good. I am nervous as well. It never gets easier. Don't worry. Why don't you tell everybody a little bit about yourself and what you're doing in THG?
Right, thanks, James. So I'm Dominik Tezyk. I'm from Bonn in Germany, very well known for birthplace of Haribo. I mean, who doesn't like Haribo? And Beethoven. And I'm the technical director as well as the art director. What does technical director mean? It means that I'm responsible for everything on the technological level, that the art people who doing the visual stuff are working very well with the coders and the engine things are mad. So that's definitely the requirements of a tech director. The art director is then again a little bit more into how stuff looks like. Is it rendered a certain way? How are the assets modeled? What are the textures looking like? Stuff like this. So yeah, so things like that being organized. Yes, and I am here because it all started like many, many, many years ago with a little book from an unknown person called Bob Ballard. He just happened to find a piece of metal on the ground of the ocean, and yeah, so this is where it all started with. And then it went to doing 3D models on Titanic, and then I kind of like ended up with the Swiss Titanic Society, which I have my shirt on from today. And that again led to working on a very, very wonderful project from the Assisi company in Berlin, doing a one-to-one size wreck panorama of our beloved ship.
Very
And
cool.
yeah, so this is where it all ended.
Wonderful. Thank you for introducing yourself. Dominic is one of the new members of the team. Uh, as am I suppose, for a lot of you. So nice to meet you all. Next, you may have heard out there, fans, that we have a new German subsidiary, and that German subsidiary is headed up by Dominic. And so, Dominic, will you explain briefly why we have one of those and what that's going to do?
Yeah, that's actually more of an accident slash coincidence than rather a planned event. So originally I was entering the entire project, and but I would work from here from Germany, but you can pay someone in Germany while being in another country. So this is how this entire idea started. As well, that is also a little bit grounded that we can hire people for, on a payroll that are working full time on our game, and I have connections into the game industry, whether it's Rockstar UK or Cloud Imperium Games, very well known for Star Citizen in Frankfurt, and Ubisoft Düsseldorf, which made a lot of wonderful, wonderful games. Shout out to those guys over there. And yes, I did study game design and game art myself, and this is where my knowledge is coming from, how to get things done. And yes, so for people who don't know, Germany is a hotspot for game production, so that made kind of like sense. And yeah, so the GmbH, which is the German version from an LLC. So there's a Vintage Digital Revival US and Vintage Digital Revival Germany. And yes, so that's what's going on. Um, and yeah, so we are having already two team members who aren't on today, but greetings from them. It's Jan and Mirko, who are now working also on the project. You will see very, very, very soon stuff from them. Um, so we, before the German subsidiary started, and before even this year, there were just a few members, and now we are up to almost 20 members with over 300 plus hours of work. And we are planning to even increase in winter. So yeah, strap on and get along the ride. We are having something a lot of things for you guys.
Absolutely. So before we dive in, let me pull myself up here. It's weird if you can't see the person who's talking. Before we dive into the alpha and we get to talk to Dominic a lot about the details of it, a lot of people watching right now, I'm sure, are possibly new to video games in a way. Titanic has that thing about it where it will bring people to wherever there's a Titanic thing, they will go to it. So for people who are new to video games or people who aren't, who just don't know the basics, Dominic, could you just talk briefly about the basics of how we're putting this ship together? And at the end of this little section, we have a clip of you might say these are some of the first images of things that we're working on at the moment for this upcoming alpha. And these are things that are being made by the German team. But I'll show those off when you get down to that part. So let us know a little bit about game stuff.
Yeah, so basically what I will going to explain is a few terminologies that we're gonna start to throw around quite frequently. Please, for those who are tech savvy, bear in mind there are also people watching this show who have no idea what a game engine is and stuff. So I'm going to go a very, very quick, rough explanation through. So the game engine is everything where the fun happens. This is the application. You open it and you play it. This happens everything within the game engine. In our case, it's called the Unreal Engine by Epic Games. Epic Games being the company making this engine. And in these engines, we will put in our models, also known as meshes. They are like little models, and we put them in, and they have textures on them, which is a color information for, is it wood, is it stone, is it glass, or stuff like this is saved in a texture. And then we have also decals, which is like little snippets of textures that we can put on there, basically more or less like a sticker, but in a digital way. There will be also a visual upgrade from how we are or how we used to show things and how we're going to show things, but I'm not going to more into detail of that. We have a little bit of programming blueprinting. Programming is somebody typing in the words manually in. Blueprinting is connecting certain boxes. This is something what the programming team is doing, as well as a little bit of the art team is doing. And for those who are a little bit more tech savvy now, we will going to use the mid-poly face-weighted normal and POM decal approach. If that does ring any bell with you, then you know what you're getting on board with. So yeah, we have a few Germans already building a few things. And I would suggest, yeah, let's have a look at it, James.
Yeah, so right now we are looking at some rivets. If you guys don't know, rivets come in all shapes and sizes, and I guess if you know even less, rivets are what hold Titanic together. But they come in all sorts of shapes and sizes. The shipyards use them for different purposes. And then some were done by hand, some were hydraulically pressed into the steel. So these are just a couple things that the German team have been working on. Making all these different types of rivets for whatever parts of the ship they would be used in.
Exactly. So the thing is that what you're seeing here in the video right now is, or what you just saw a second ago, is more or less like a high poly version of it, but expect this kind of quality of rivets on a ship when you're going like this close.
Yeah.
So this is something you're gonna see and love. So bear with us. There's more to come.
Yes. And then this little clip here. This is a very, very sped up, obviously, video of one of our team members working on the floating crane that you will see in Belfast, which is where the Titanic will be docked for our Alpha. She'll be docked at the fitting out wharf in Belfast at the Harland and Wolff shipyards. We did have a crane in Demo 3, though it was very, very undetailed. There was a reason it was on the other side of the ship, so it was more of a distant image, but this model is extremely detailed. Dominic, who's working on this crane?
This is Mirko working, yeah. This is Mirko working in 3ds Max. And yeah, he's building like a lot of details into it, based on photographs and some blueprints that we luckily have access to.
And if I'm right, this crane was built by the Germans in real
Yeah,
life. Is that
that
true?
is about correct. Yes, this
Yes.
is about
So
correct.
this is fun for you, you guys.
Yeah, actually, it's that's more or less around the corner, like an hour away from here in Düsseldorf,
Very cool.
which is the capital of the state where I'm from.
Okay. So while this video is playing, it's let me just yeah. While you guys watch this crane being built from scratch, we did get some super chats already, which is lovely. Jake Rutigliano, thank you for your super chat. Georg, these guys are big supporters of the project. I'm newer to this side of things with the team, and even I know their names because that's how active they are. And then we got a question from Adam Stiles, who wants to know if we have an approximate date that the alpha will become available. We do have more information on when this alpha will be available, and it will be at the end of this stream. We will talk time frames and whatnot about when you can expect things. And then we have a question from a Apathist 04, not sure how to say that. When do you anticipate flooding to be included in the game? So we talked a lot about, last week about how we want to focus on the ship first and foremost, get the ship fully finished, have it as beautiful as we can possibly make it, and then we will move on to these larger features, such as sinking the ship and flooding the ship. But it is something that is on our, long-term to-do list, I suppose you could say, because what is a Titanic game without a sinking ship? If we so it's down the line, but it's something that we absolutely want to do. I don't know if we can say when we anticipate to be included in the game, but we're going to talk in a second about this alpha and how phase one of the alpha is the ship itself, and then the further phases are things like sinking and story and those things, which we are working hard on even now, even though they're a bit farther away. So thank you guys for these questions. And we got one more just now. Monskar says, thank you. Thank you, Monskar. That's good enough on this crane video. It goes on for quite a while. I mean, the amount of work that is going into this is pretty intense. I don't know if you guys play any like Planet Coaster, Sim City, or City Skylines, like the games where you can do that, but on a much simpler level and just like let your wildest dreams come true. Like I can't imagine when you have truly the ability to do whatever you want. Like, oh my gosh. Okay. The creativity is beyond me. So that's that. We talked about that. Now let's talk about this alpha a bit more in detail here. So what is an alpha, you may be wondering? If you don't know, an alpha is the early stages of the development of a video game. Sometimes alphas are open to the public, sometimes they're closed. And then after the alpha is the beta, where it's more about polishing and testing and whatnot. And sometimes those are open or closed. And then the game is released. Our alpha and our beta, it's all going to be open to you guys. You guys are going to have access to all of it if you would like, which is cool. And it's just the nature of our game that we can do this. You wouldn't want to play like an adventure game, a traditional adventure game in alpha, because what would there be to play if the story's not finished? So what's great about our game is we can build the Titanic as we go and give it to you guys as we finish it. So that's exactly what we are going to do, as we talked about last week. We're going to release the ship in updates, and you will get them as we finish them. So no more waiting for us to finish 100% of a ship. We will finish 100% of the ship together, which is a lot of fun for us and for you guys. And you guys can help us bug fixes, and when we get something historically wrong, you can tell us, and then we can fix it. It's going to be very collaborative, which is fun. So a big thing to remember about an alpha is that this is a process meant for us mostly developers. We're building the game, so it's a work in progress, I guess is the best way to put it. So we may release an update, and you may find something that is buggy or weird, but then that's what the alpha is for, so we can fix it. So everything in our alpha will be a work in progress, and but it's cool that you guys get to have a window into that process. Unlike a lot of games, I struggle to think of games like this. I know we talk about one a lot, Star Citizen. It's one of Dominic's favorite games. They're doing something similar. So very cool that we get to have you guys come along. So as I mentioned, phase 1 of the alpha, there's a bunch of phases. We'll talk about the later phases later, but phase 1 is the big one, and it's really what we're talking about today, which is building the entire ship. From start to finish, the entire ship given to you guys in phase 1. We will be using this time to build the ship piece by piece, as I said, and each update will feature new areas, but we will also go back and fix old areas. And then even if we have released an area before, like in the demo 3, for example, we had a lot of areas in that. We're also going to use this alpha time to upgrade those. As you saw, those rivets, they look amazing. And there's so many more little details, much more than that we'd like to bring to these new areas, or these old areas, I suppose, areas that you guys have seen already. So Dominic, I apologize. I rearranged our script right before we started, and I forgot to tell you, but could you go in a little bit more and talk about things that are different now as opposed to like when Demo 3 came out, Unreal 5 coming up, and changes we want to make to some of these older areas?
Yeah, sure. Happy to do that. That's what I'm here for. Unreal 5 is now on the horizon. For those who don't know, the current version is Unreal Engine 4. Unreal Engine 5 has been announced last year and is destined to arrive at developers somewhat this year. Don't know when. So we're talking a lot of hypothetical things here. But it all started basically in CryEngine 3 and then moved from CryEngine 3 back in the days then to Unreal Engine 4. And with each update and iteration of Unreal Engine, things look better, lights look better, textures look better, model looks better. So engines are now more capable of, handling more complicated scenes than they've been before, where it's like how many objects you can put in, how complex can be these objects. Basically stuff like this. So things evolve as well as textures. Sorry, I have to take a sip. So yes, and with the new upcoming ray tracing technology, for those who have RTX cards, we'll sing a good song about the opportunities that are coming around there, which, by the way, help us developers as well. Before we had to, bake a lot of stuff and fake it. Make it until you fake it until you make it, or something is the term with developers. And with that, a lot of tedious work kind of like drops because the engine is in real time, calculating and rendering things. And yes, so we are aiming to utilize all the newest technologies that we can, because with Unreal Engine 5, I kind of trust it enough. It's just awesome. Can't wait to see that. And so therefore, we will see where that is all going, right? We have better stuff. We have better technology. I mean, what can I wish for, right?
Right. Yeah, exactly. We are all extremely excited, and hopefully you guys are getting excited as well. I mean, just hearing Dominic say things like earlier, he mentioned that we have 300 working hours a week between the group now. There's 20 something of us. While 6 months ago, I feel like there was not that many. There certainly wasn't. It felt like there was like 4 or 5, So it's been a great couple months, and we're very much looking forward to getting this out, starting this alpha up. Before we're about to talk about what the first area is going to be, but first we have some questions, some super chats that got sent in. I think my phone is making my microphone make funny noises. Okay, let's go to this side. Rick Lucas contributed $10. Thank you, Rick. He says, we believe in your team and project. Thank you. Or is that John? It's confusing. I'm sorry, guys. John Morissette, $25. J.A. Bristol, $5. Thank you, guys. Question, will a fully explorable Britannic Olympic be a DLC? DLC is so far down the line, but I think when you imagine a DLC, those are sort of the first things you do think of. That would be fun. We would love to do that, but let's get the ship done, and then let's worry about the larger modes and then DLCs. Don't worry, DLCs, they're on my little list of all the things that we have percolating, is that the word, in our brains, and DLC is one of them, and that is a fantastic idea. Adam Styles, $5. Is there any hope for character customization in the game? I love the fashion from 1910s era. Yes, as do I. That is also very far down the line. There are so many things that we'd love to bring to the game, but objective number one is finish the ship and get some of these simpler features out, get the big features out, and then we'll talk about this. But I do promise there is a slight bit of customization being planned already. But that's for a live stream down the line, you guys. We'll talk about that soon. The Cisco, $5. Thank you, the Cisco. Great name. And then what do you think of the Titanic theme park in China? Would you ever visit the replica? Dominic, I'm pretty sure I know the answer for you. I would absolutely visit that replica. I don't know how I feel about a Titanic theme park, but if it's a replica of Titanic, I think I'm going to go. What do you think, Dominic? Are you going to visit China for that?
Yeah, I would.
Of course.
Short and sweet.
Of course. And then Zach LeBlanc, $50. Thank you so much, Zach. Longtime supporter. So let's take a break from the super chats. Thank you guys so much for contributing. Let's talk about the fun stuff here. So we now know all about alpha and what it means and how we are doing it, releasing the ship by bit by bit. But because we want to focus so much on each area and up the detail, we've decided, instead of making you guys wait who knows how long for us to make a sizable bit of the ship and give it to you all at once, we want to put all of our energy into a few areas, give those to you, and branch off from there. And so the very first area that you will be able to explore in Titanic Honor and Glory Alpha will be the forecastle deck, the forecastle deck, however you pronounce it. It's always been forecastle for me. So the forecastle deck, for those of you who don't know, I have some more pictures. This is the forecastle deck from above, from a deck plan from above. The forecastle deck is the forwardmost open air deck space on the ship, mostly for crewmen. You can see the breakwater, those two diagonal lines that go into the hatch. Passengers were allowed aft of that, but it was crew forward of that. And the forecastle deck, I have more pictures. The forecastle deck is mostly the site for the equipment that docks the ship, mooring, warping, towing. Anytime that Titanic would drop anchor or hook onto, I don't know the word, be towed by a tugboat or be docked in a dock, this is where that would happen, here and then on the poop deck. But you can see these are some images. These are Olympic, I'm pretty sure, because there aren't any really solid pictures of Titanic's forecastle deck. But just to give you an idea of the kind of equipment, and because, as we've mentioned in our previous stream, there will be log entries all over this ship. There will be a log entry attached to everything that you see in this picture. That's the goal. And there's the forecastle deck from a bit farther away. This is from up on the bridge, I would say, near the bridge wing. So yeah, the forecastle deck, everybody. That is sort of our first our first space that we're going to start with. But what we should do, let me just make sure I'm not skipping anything. Oh yeah, so from the forecastle deck, we will move forward. So here's a little image that Kyle Hudak, our lovely map maker, made this image. This is just an example of what the rest of the alpha might look like. So we started with the forecastle deck, as you saw, and we're just working our way through. This is not the official order that we would do it in, but we would release update after update as we work our way through the ship. And it will all branch off of the forecastle deck. So there won't be any going to a menu screen and switching to a new place, back to the menu screen, switching to a new place. It's all going to branch off of this location. And we are almost done there. Cool. So that's the forecastle deck, which is and that's the beginning of our alpha. Now, in terms of how long and how large will these updates be, is a pretty complicated question. Dominic might know more about this than myself, but each room on Titanic is so wildly different from the one next to it. I mean, even cabins all in the same hallway, there's 14 or whatever different styles. So these updates, we're going to shoot for releasing them every month. And while we'll keep that sort of time-wise, the update sizes might be different because, and Dominic, correct me if I'm wrong, but the certain rooms can be more of a copy and paste situation, like cabins that are all the same style, but other rooms are not. There's the engine room. It might be its own update. The engine room might be two separate updates. It's just such a big, complicated room. Meanwhile, there are rooms that are the same size that we've already fully modeled and researched, and they're basically done. So those will be finished in a heartbeat. So I think Derek put it well. He said there will be bathrooms that take longer than the reception room because of these issues, because we've already modeled a lot and we've already researched a lot, and that research has been done already. So and then there's rooms that we haven't researched yet. So it's sort of all over the place. Am I saying that right, Dominic?
Yes, you are. Yeah, that's
Right.
absolutely right. So, like we said before, it starts with a forecastle, and I was thinking a lot about how I'm going to spoil and how I'm not. But the one sentence I can just rub right here, it's going to be visually something totally different from what I've ever seen, ever with Titanic's forecastle. So I
Yeah.
call it forecastle, you call it forecastle.
Yeah.
So
Well,
yeah, there is something.
I think I
Yes,
always
go
called
ahead.
it. I always called it forecastle when I was a kid, and then I heard somebody say forecastle once, and I was like, "That's way cooler." So now I say forecastle.
Well, for me, it sounds like a foxhole, so
True.
that's why I'm not using it.
Very true.
So yes, like I said before, it will go with the forecastle, and you will be able to, walk downstairs those two ladders onto the forward well deck, and there will be some really cool stuff to explore. And then you go up the stairs again to the outside deck areas of B deck, and then you can look down onto the quay where a lot of things are going to happen. And from there, you're going to go inside the ship. And I think this is also a very good moment for you to show the little video that we did prepare.
Which video? I think
The B deck plan video.
Oh yes. So well, this is a good segue as I
Yes.
play this. We should talk about what portion of this alpha is going to be free. We said in the stream last 2 weeks ago that the free alpha would last until a sizable portion of the ship was finished. And we have decided, actually, I think like the next day, we settled on what that size should be. And so I'll press the button and I'll play the video, and you can tell everybody what can everybody watching right now, everybody in the world will have this area of Titanic for free.
Yes. Well, we will start again for Castle. We will go forward for well deck, and we will have the entire B deck, including the Grand Staircase. And then we'll go further up. So we have a lot of cabins going on, and with the various styles. Then we go to the restaurants, and then we have, which is my favorite place, the kitchen. And then from there, we will go on and see also the outside area on the aft end of the B deck, as well going down the well deck again and up deck. Up the poop deck, including the little bridge on the poop deck. So this is something really exciting, and yeah, looking really forward to it. So James, what's going to be your favorite area?
Oh, I've given this some thought because you said the other day that the galley was your favorite spot. I'm currently showing pictures of B deck. Just these are some historical photos from Titanic and Olympic of what we are going to be recreating on B deck. And while I cycle through them, your favorite area is going to be the galley. The favorite spot for me is actually, I think, right here. This is the second class smoke room, if I'm not mistaken. I just love second class spaces. They're just so undone, like we know all about first class. We know all about third class, and second class spaces just aren't as exciting to people for some reason. And so I just can't wait to see more and to work on more of the second class areas. And there are some second class areas on the on B deck. So just to show you guys these, this is the Cafe Parisien, some beautiful staterooms, the second class smoke room, more staterooms. This is the private promenades. One of the private promenades that's on B deck. The restaurant, of course. These are the galleys that Dominic is looking forward to. And then, of course, the poop deck and the aft well deck as well. So, all in all, the B deck area, from stem to stern, B deck will be free for absolutely everybody. And to add on to that, another cool thing, if you're interested, our patrons who support us on Patreon. It's one of the best ways that we have been able to make this game is because of the people who support us on Patreon. They, for supporting us as a thank you, they will be getting early updates for each space. So, for example, when we release this alpha, and everybody in the world who wants it is exploring the Forecastle deck, patrons will have the Forecastle deck and the forward well deck available to them. And the forward well deck will still be a little bit more work in progress than the Forecastle deck will be, but patrons will have a first look at that. And then when everybody from the free alpha moves into the forward well deck, patrons will move into the forward B deck cabin area, and so on. And so patrons will always remain a release ahead of everybody else in the free alpha, and that will continue beyond the free alpha as well, which we'll talk about I think right now, actually. Yes, it is time. We've got quite the schedule on our computers right now, trying to stay on topic so we don't sit here for 2 hours like we did last time. So I do have some super chats, and then we're going to talk more about this alpha. So Sylvain, €10, says, here you go, you guys deserve it. Are you planning to add a multiplayer mode maybe in the future? That would be awesome. In my brain, I'm planning everything in the future. I want it all, but we haven't had any discussions about that. But we're focusing on the ship right now. How cool would that be, though? I'm sure it's on someone's list of ideas, but we are ship focused at the moment, so we don't get too overwhelmed. I would never know how to say this name. I apologize, but we got a donation of $5. I honestly don't even know. That's but when the alpha, this is the question, when the alpha is ready, where will it be released? Steam perhaps, or Game Jolt? I want to get it downloaded on my PC when the alpha becomes available. We are still discussing the details of where. Steam is obviously a first thought, because Steam is such a big site, but there are other places, so we're still figuring that out. We will let you know as soon as we know. So we'll.
I'd like to say a thing.
Yes, go
So I
ahead.
see very frequently a question is asked, what is a backer and what is a Patreon? You might iterate a little bit on that.
Sure, like a contributor backer. There in the past, there's been two ways for you to contribute and support the project. There's backers, contributors, whatever you want to call them. Those people who have donated in past fundraising campaigns or through our website or through other means, $10 here, $12 here. I mean, even these super chats, like people who've supported us in that way. But patrons, they donate through our Patreon, which, if you don't know, it's a website. And it's a way to support different projects in a more long-term fashion. So you sign up and you can donate to the project with a monthly donation. So it can be $1 or $2 a month, or it can be more than that. And so it gives the project that you're supporting more freedom to have a better idea of money coming in, as opposed to just relying on the off chance that there's a donation. So and keep in mind, folks, with this free alpha and the patrons having early access, anybody can join that at any time. So if you were to join our Patreon today to support the project, you would have early access to those updates. But to you backers and contributors, there's a benefit for you as well, which we're going to talk about right now. I will save some of these super chats. We may have a lot of these at the end because we're getting a lot, which you guys are very generous, and we love you all. So yes, let's talk about how you get access to this alpha. Just like more details, I made graphics for these, and if you remember last week, I love my graphics. So here we go. So the free alpha. These are the basics of it. So the free alpha includes B deck from stem to stern. We talked about that, from the forecastle deck to the poop deck, with the two well decks, I guess both being on C deck technically, but this will all be available in the free alpha. In that area, there will be log entries, collectibles, and interactivity. This is something we talked about last stream. Log entries, just a crash course, are how you take in information in this massive museum that we're essentially making. Every object, every room, there's so much that will have information attached to it that you will be able to interact with. And we're going to do a whole stream on that in a few weeks, all about log entries. Collectibles, as you can assume, they are objects that you can collect. Some of them are going to be hidden. Some of them are going to be really funny and not funny, more Easter eggy, I suppose you could say. And then interactivity, of course, is something that we really want to have, is interaction with virtually every single object. In the free alpha, we will be doing a majority of the interactions, and by the end of the first phase of the alpha, when the ship is fully finished, we will have ideally just full interaction with anything that you can think of: opening, closing, turning on, turning off. You should be able to interact with this stuff. So those are the features in that B deck area, and it's free for everybody. Everybody. And as I mentioned, patrons receive early access. So one thing that we have decided to do is we're going to have patrons who donate $10 and up per month will have that early access. So anybody can be a part of this, can join today, can join tomorrow. But it is free for everybody if you don't want to. You don't have to do that at all, which is great. And I will point out that the free alpha area, the B deck area, is the largest area of Titanic we will have released, especially for free. It's about twice the size of Demo 3. It's bigger than all of our previous demos put together, which is very, very cool. So moving on, what if, let's just say, crazy thought here. Let's just say you played all of our demos and you played all of B deck and you just can't get enough Titanic. I understand. That's how I feel all the time. And you want more. You want to keep playing along while we build the rest of the ship. Well, you can easily do that, and you can do that one of three ways, and this is where the backers and contributors come in. If you have donated $50 or more to us in the past, we often said in fundraisers, if you donate $50, you essentially bought a copy of the game. You get a free copy of the game, and that's basically what this is here. You, of course, get a free copy of the game when the game comes out, but you sort of get to cash in on that right now. You will be able to, or when BDEC is finished, you will be able to continue that free alpha access, so to speak. So $50 or more, you can continue on beyond BDEC. Also, you can purchase a copy of THG. When BDEC is finished, you will be able to actually purchase a copy if you don't want to join the Patreon, for example, and you really want to explore more of Titanic and you weren't a contributor in the past. You can purchase a copy of THG, which is a great way to support us as well. And then, of course, patrons for $10 or more a month will continue to have early access because they are the people that support us month by month, and so they will get those early updates. And I should mention, while we will not have virtual reality when the free alpha initially starts, something we're aiming for is having VR by the end of the free alpha. So everybody enjoying the free alpha will have VR support by the end of the alpha. Just wanted to throw that in there because I forgot to mention it. And then things that we will add beyond BDEC will be every space that we add will, of course, have more entries, more collectibles, log entries, that is. There will be full interactions by this point when the ship is finished. And then there will be even more features, which, again, we haven't talked about all the features that we're planning. And there will be live streams down the line for all of that. And let me make sure. Yeah, that was the last slide. So that's sort of a crash course on everything that everything that's going on with this alpha. I just want to make sure I didn't forget anything. Should have gotten it all. One thing I want to point out, you guys, I have to apologize. I misspoke 2 weeks ago. And perhaps you're sitting there thinking, wait, you said something different 2 weeks ago. I must have misunderstood somebody or whatnot, but I just wrote it wrong. On one of my slides last week, I'm very proud of my slides. I wrote that patrons and contributors will get early access. And I was misspeaking. I'm sorry. It will be patrons who get early access, and contributors will get access beyond the free alpha, but it will be a step behind patrons. So that's sort of the free alpha access continued into beyond BDEC. And that will go all the way through the whole ship. So there will come a day when we add the last room to Titanic, and patrons will get it first, and then contributors will get it next. And then we'll go on to our next phase of the alpha, where we'll add other larger features, where we're talking more like syncing mode, story mode, those types of things. And you guys will continue to get those things. And eventually the game will be finished and it'll be out there, and we can start talking about DLCs and stuff. But not until then. So let's cut to some super chats. We only have a couple more things to cover. I told myself this would be a quicker stream than last time, and we're doing it. So we have a bunch of announcements to make. I'm going to do some super chats. We're going to talk about when this is going to be available. We're going to talk about our next streams. We're going to take questions from Twitch and YouTube and Reddit. We have some cool things to show off, new things that we've been working on. We have our giveaway that we're going to do, and then and that'll be it. So let's do some super chats. Dominic, how are you doing over there? I don't mean to ignore you for too long.
I'm doing very, very good. I just accidentally muted myself.
Well, that's all right. You have quite the Titanic setup.
Yes, I have. It's part of the thing is that part of my collection is at Mirko's place right now because he's modeling Titanic stuff, and I just gave him a bunch of books to get read on it. So I just kept a few things here, but most part I gave him like a stack of the most prominent books, and yeah, so I have left a few things.
Okay, so it's even bigger than that. It's not quite as awesome as my trumpeter Titanic, but it's okay.
I will get one too.
We can't all spend 8 months on something that simple. Okay. So some more super chats, guys, and then we'll wrap this. We'll go into the big announcement things, and then we'll all have the rest of the night off. We'll all go drink somewhere. Okay. So let's see. Where will the alpha be available to download? We, as I mentioned, we aren't quite sure on that. It's funny. Matt DeWinkler is sending me these so I can read them, and I'm confused by this one because it just says Shrek 2 on VHS. I assume that's someone's name. It's a great name if that's someone's name, but they donated $2. J.A. Bristol, I think again, says for $5, will you be able to sneak into restricted areas and risk getting put in the brig? That sounds like fun. That's a great idea. Focusing on the ship, James. Focus. Okay. Jared F., $5. Will the alpha and the game have clickable areas like in Adventure Out of Time? And the game have clickable areas. I wonder what that means. The thing is, the ship will be very interactive, so a lot of things will be very much clickable. So I will say yes. There will be lots of clickableness to Titanic Honor and Glory. I will say, if anybody ever has any questions about will we do something like Adventure Out of Time, rest assured, I was the biggest Adventure Out of Time fan my entire life. I played it like 2 weeks ago or something. So if we can draw anything from Adventure Out of Time, we absolutely will. Phony Gamer 1234 for $9.99. Great job, guys. No questions, just support. Thank you so much. Kevin Talentier, €1. Are you going to have interactive characters on the ship like Adventure Out of Time? As the magic would be seeing the characters on board, an empty ship will quickly become boring. So we were having lots of talks about this, and a lot of people on our Discord are showing us different means by which we can get NPCs into the game. We're focusing on the ship right now. NPCs are some of the hardest things to accomplish. It's so funny that probably the two hardest things to do in video games, from my limited knowledge, are NPCs and water, and those are the two like biggest things that people will want. So those are things that we're working on. We're discussing daily, and we're going to focus on. But right now we're focusing on the ship. I will say
something to that.
Yeah, go ahead.
So if we don't speak about water or NPCs or characters right now, that has a very good reason because we're still looking into it. But that doesn't mean necessarily, because we're not talking today about it, that it won't be possibly a talk or a theme for another live streams in the future. So if you feel like your question is ignored or something, we do not ignore the question. I can see the question now being all recorded here, and we will bring up when it's time to answer them. So bear with us. We're on it.
Yes, well put. So yes, and I also will say we're working on a bunch of other things that will bring life to Titanic, even without people to see aboard. So lots of really cool things in store, we'll say. Okay, so Harold Lawson, $4.99. Is Tom still involved in any way in his Lusitania project? Are you guys helping at all? So I think Matt said he answered it already, but Tom is not involved in THG anymore, and we're not involved in Lusitania. He and I I may help for something, but there's not a lot of cross working going on. But as we stated last week, we're all still friends. It's all very cool. But the Lusitania project, I have seen something from it, and it looks great. So keep an eye out for Lusitania project, whatever it may be called. Okay, let's just do one more, and then we're gonna get to some other stuff. You guys are sending so many, I can't keep up. This is wonderful. Ricardo Mercado Lobo Piera, amazing. $5. Keep up the good work, THG team. It's nice to see Brazilians working on the project as well. Yes, cool. All right, let's stop there for now. Okay. Oh man, I just want to talk about this all day, and I'm trying my best not to. So let's talk about the big stuff here. So when can we play the alpha? So we said in the last stream that we're shooting for by the end of 2021, and I can confirm right now that we have now narrowed that down to Q4 2021. So what that means is October 1st to December 31st, that area. But don't worry, we're not planning on just putting it out on December 31st at 11:59 p.m. just to, stick to our word. We're really aiming for October. We're aiming for the entire Q4, but hopefully the early part of Q4. So yes, that is, we'll narrow it down there, and as we move closer, we'll be able to narrow it down more and more and more. Once we have some of the Forecastle deck up and running and we feel confident about it, maybe we'll be able to give you a month, and then the features are working really well and we've worked a lot of the kinks out, and we can narrow it down to like maybe a week, so we'll narrow it down together. But best part is we will be very transparent. We will let you know everything that there is to know. Other things to announce. Oh, go ahead. Do you need to say something?
I wanted to add just one little thing about that. So once we go live with our alpha, it's going to be 1.0. The next one is going to 1.1, and so on and so forth. But what I can tell you, because everybody has work, school, family, things to attend, so we plan to throw out our updates every time on the first of the Friday of the month. And the update following that should be then the next first Friday of that following month. So this is something where you can set your clocks on. Again, sometimes updates can be very small. Some updates can be very, very large. And just a little hint, if you have explored an area, go back, explore it with the next update again, because there might be some things to find.
Dominic has like this this idea that he has like grown himself, and he's super excited about it. So he's hinting at it very hard right now. But yeah, it's gonna be great. First Friday of every month. Is that what you said? First Friday.
Yes, that's about right.
First Friday, and yeah, as he said, I mean, everybody on the team has family, has school, has jobs. So we're gonna stick to that as best we can. And maybe one day we can all quit our jobs, and then it'll be even more regular.
I'm full part, so.
Oh, you are? Yeah, sadly not. So this next thing, I'm going to pull this up on the screen. So guys and girls and everybody else, coming up in 2 weeks, we're going to do our third stream. We're going to take a little break from the game itself, and we're going to talk with Zeno, who is our merchandise and store guy. And he's also our model builder with the hand-painted models, which I know a lot of you have ordered in the past, and a lot of you will order because they're just such beautiful models. We're going to talk with him. We're going to see how the hand-painted thing goes, how he does it. We're going to answer some questions because we know there's a lot of questions about the hand-painted models, especially for people who are waiting for theirs right now. And then also maybe we'll close the stream with a little trumpeter talk, because Zeno and I are the only two people on the team, I think, who have actually built the large model behind me. So we'll chat a little bit about that. And then 2 weeks after that, for our Devstream number 4, it's our first feature first look. It is we're gonna go in depth about every single feature. In the future, there will be streams for each individual feature. And so our first feature that we're going to look into is log entries. These are, this is like the main feature for the free alpha. So I'm sure you will have lots of questions about it. We're going to talk about all the different types of log entries that there are, what you can expect from them. And we may, if we're lucky, we may be able to show some of them off as well. So join us for these 2 streams, and then we have another stream 2 weeks after that. There's going to be a stream every 2 weeks, and I'm going to do my best to stick to that because I'm not doing anything on Saturdays at 4:00. So why not talk about Titanic? So we have the next one lined up, but we will announce it soon. It's going to be with special guest Matthew DeWinkler. So these are the live streams coming up. So set your clocks, calendars, I don't know, Write it down. Cool. So we have something really cool. Oh wait, we're gonna take questions now. Dominic, have you been able to keep an eye on some questions at all?
Yes, I have, and I will go through them very, very quickly.
Sure.
Um, this is something that we're gonna do with every stream. So keep the questions with every stream to the topic of the stream. That would be really, really awesome. So one of the questions from Eric GT asked on YouTube is, will you be able to play on Mac? If you have a Mac, you can play on a Mac. But our game, if it's going to run on a Mac, this is something I can't answer of this time yet. But we will inform you, of course, when we have further information on that. And there's a USS Manhattan from Twitch asking, how likely is the alpha going to be released in consoles, or at least have a power setting for weaker computers like mine? So consoles is something that we are looking into. As soon Unreal Engine 5 is out, I can assess it a little bit better, but we're keeping an eye on it. Ethan Oliver from YouTube asks, will there be engines in the alpha? And I can probably say, are engines on Titanic? James, are they?
Sorry, the engines? The
Yes,
engine
are
room?
they the engines on Titanic?
There are engines on Titanic, but
So they will be in the alpha.
oh yes. Oh, I get what you're saying. I was like, is this a trick question? Yes, yeah. If the somebody asked on sorry, you can't see me because I can't figure out where
Don't worry.
I went. Someone asked on one of the sites this week. I've been trying to personally respond to every question that I can find. Someone asked if the painter's closet or something will be in it was like a very specific space. And yes, if it was on Titanic, we're doing it. We're gonna do it. So yes.
Thank you. So IndieGamer06 from YouTube asks, will we have any syncing experience in the alpha? So this is a very tricky one, and this is a very, very frequent question. So I'm gonna tackle that. We will have a syncing, but because that is from a technological point of view, a very, very complex thing, this is one of the very, very last features we will going to add in the game. So we plan for it, yes, but in what capacity, in what way, and how you're going to experience this is something that we will explore further down the line. As it said before, we are focusing on building the ship first. But yes, we hear you. Averlus, I don't know if I pronounced that right, from Twitch is asking, where is this framed art from? It's awesome. So this is a panorama I worked on, a 360 degree. It's 110 meters long, 35 meters high in reality. And you would stand in the middle of the picture and you would enjoy the view of Titanic's wreck as it is. So this is something I worked on. Just type into Google search ACZ Titanic and you will find it online. Next question. The Cisco, will there be a multiplayer? He is from YouTube, if I can see that right. We are thinking about it, but this is something that will be explored in phase 2 of our development. So therefore, we hear you guys. I have no answers as of right now. The last 3 questions, I guess that's it is. The goatee guy from YouTube is asking, will you need to completely redesign for Unreal 5 while currently using Unreal 4? No, that's not the case. Stuff that is built right now can be imported into Unreal 5. So that is already incorporated in the current versions of Unreal, which is really awesome, by the way. X-Plane Gamer Flights from YouTube is asking, does buying Patroness of the Mediterranean, the Britannic game, give any benefits? Yes, it does give us benefits because this is helping us to finance our development. Like, again, I'm going to repeat myself. We're going to need some funds because we have people now on the payroll and they got to eat, breathe, live, and things we all do. And then is a question from Will Q, also YouTube. Does buying from the online shop count as a contribution? Yes, that is a very tricky one. We are working on it. So I can't give a yes, can't give a no. So it's under development and you will be informed by the time when we have an answer for you there. And that's been about it. If I just give me 5 seconds.
Sure, I'll answer some super
Yes.
chats, and you can, if you want to
Right.
keep looking through.
Yes, I was gonna keep looking through.
Yeah, you look through. So, like my phone's doing that thing. If I hold it over here, it's so weird. Okay. So let's see. So Philip, I got a bunch of them. Oh no. Let's see. Black Dahlia Gaming, $5. Will you be willing to work with other Titanic Twitch streamers for when Alpha is released, or allowing for sponsorship? Absolutely. I would love for. Yeah, I want everyone to play the game, and anybody who has Titanic related content, reach out to us. We've been contacted by a lot of podcasts. I've already done one. Zeno has done one. Yeah, reach out to us. We'd love to talk about Titanic and commingle in the Titanic world. That'd be great. Marius Sismajak. That was bad. $5. How's it going? It's going well. All right. Noah Bonnell, $5. Thank you for your dedication and hard work, both as a team as individuals. The passion you share, oh my gosh, and within yourself is inspiring. That's so sweet. Nice Titanic Facebook fan. That's great. Love to hear it. Marcus Scrivens, Canada. $10 Canadian. There we go. How long do you think the alpha will take to complete? So the alpha as a whole is the entire development of the game. I mean, when the alpha is done, the alpha will be done when the ship is finished and every feature that we want to add is added. And then the alpha is done, and then we'll do like a testing phase for the beta, and then it'll be released, and then we'll talk DLC. So you're essentially asking how long will it take to make the entire game, and we have no idea. It's who knows? And there's actually another question that I'll sort of answer both. This was from I can't tell who this is from. I'm sorry, but it says, I hope you understand any doubts or concerns in the community. As you know, we haven't been treated right in the past. True. About how long do you guess the development of the ship will take? First of all, the first half of that question, yes, we know you guys have. It's not been the greatest last few years for this project, and that's why we have spent the last 6 months completely changing the culture around here and the plan for the game. I personally have spent my entire 2 weeks answering Reddit posts and emails and YouTube comments of people with this grievance and that grievance, and it's been very eye-opening. But the support from even those people has been very, very, very sweet and nice to see. But yes, we are trying our best to completely do things the opposite of what we used to. And one of those things is by letting you have access to the game while we build it, so you don't have to wait anymore. But how long will it take you to develop the entire ship? So like I said earlier, it's just such a weird thing to put a number on. I'm sure people out there who do the math, they will see how big our first few updates are, and they're each a month apart. So if you multiply that times however much square feet are on Titanic, it's going to take this long. But it's just not the case. It's just so difficult because a lot of spaces are copy and paste-ish. A lot of spaces are fully finished, are fully modeled and researched, but we need to update it for the new engine or just to our new gold standard set by Dominic. And then some areas don't take that long. Some areas take a while. So we truly have no idea quite how long it will go. And to add another caveat to this, we are hoping over the next year or so, the team is going to get bigger. We're going to have more support from other modelers and people. A lot of people have reached out to me already to volunteer for writing and voiceover. So we want to grow this team, and so the ship will be made even faster and faster. And as we get into a groove of development, it will develop things faster and faster. So I truly don't know. I don't know how long it's going to take, but excuse me. But all I can tell you is every month we will release more of the ship, and we will keep doing that until it's done. If it's the last thing I do, we're gonna get this ship out to all of you. So I hope that answers your question as best that I can at this time. Silu, $15, sending my support. No question. You guys are doing an amazing job. Thank you so much. Says who? You, $5. Thank you for the $5. MacNerd93, great name, $4.99. Will the Forecastle deck be interactive? Absolutely. Will you be able to operate the anchor and auxiliary and see how the hose pipe works at the front? Yes, that is the goal for the whole ship. Me and Derek, our programming lead, we've been discussing how much of the of interactions can we have in the free alpha. You know, we want to focus on the big stuff first. But the end goal by the end of the ship being built, full interactivity, and I'm not joking. Like, I want everything, and of course I'm saying it because I'm not the programmer, but yes, if an anchor would have been lifted by that anchor crane in the front and on the forecastle, you should be able to do that. Removable railings, pull them out. The cargo winch or cargo cranes, you should be able to do it all, and that's what we're aiming for. So yes, there will be interactivity, working the anchors, the windlass, all that stuff. Dominic redoing stuff might need to be. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Some of these are Matt's messages, so I think they're super chats.
Okay.
Go ahead. Yeah, take one.
I would also to add that also lights can be turned on and off. So
of course.
You enter rooms, you want to put on the position lights, you can turn on the position lights. You can turn on the mast lamp, turn it off, and stuff like this. So that kind of interactivity, which brings me to what I just got in a private message here. So there's slightly confusion obviously going on about why we are rebuilding the ship. So it's not like we're going to take every object and discard it and rebuild it from scratch. Is we take those meshes, we refine them again, and then we put them in the new engine. So don't see it as like we discard everything what we built before. So just wanted to elaborate that. So we just want to utilize everything what Unreal Engine 5 is offering us. And with that, do you have any further questions? Otherwise, I will read some.
I think I do. And just to add on to that, like I said earlier, there are bathrooms that will take longer than the reception room. That whole comment is because, yes, we are going to be upgrading these areas that we've already made, but the research is done, the modeling is done, the real man hours are done. Just because we are upgrading them doesn't mean that we've thrown away all those hours of research that we did to find out what the carpet color really should be, or the shape of this wall or this chair. There's a lot of detail work that's already been done. So it's not, I wouldn't even say rebuilding. That's goes way too far, because that would insinuate that we're starting over, which we are absolutely not. So I have from Shane, I believe. I have reached out several times throughout the year through your website and Facebook. I've done Titanic content. Would love to work with you all. Shane, we would love to work with you. Send another email. We have I'm going through email after email in my off time. Maybe I haven't quite seen yours yet. So Christopher Carter, $9.99. Will there be a day and night modes to the exploration of the alpha? One things I'm most excited to see the ship at different times of the day. I'm going to say yes. Part of demo 3 that I always wanted was to be able to explore it at night. It was always during the day. And yes, I want to be in the warm grand staircase with the darkness out the windows. You know what I mean. You guys know what I mean. Cool. I feel like I apologize if I missed anybody. I'll try and go through these maybe in a minute and make sure that I didn't miss anybody.
I can take a question over.
Go ahead. Let's just do a couple more, and then we're gonna wrap this up with some of our announcements.
Very, very important to me. James Blinder from YouTube is asking something about the Pontas and other models. Again, this is a very good example. This is something for the next stream with Zeno. Don't ask questions who are not for the stream, but I just did it kind of like answered, like wait for the next stream. So Peter Spirindi from YouTube is asking, will you be able to ride the lifts? Again, if it's on the ship, we have it. If it works on the ship, we have it. So there you go. The Noob is asking, so people who donated $50 before won't be given any early access to the areas of the alpha. So people who donated will of course have access, but again, you will be informed to what area you will have access to, because what we are planning, which is also grabbing a few questions together, is we will release not via a Dropbox link or something that we had before. It will be either via a Steam store or via the Epic Store. We don't know which one yet, maybe both, maybe one of the others. So this is something that we still elaborating on. And by logging in, the credentials will match, then the program will show you what you can see and whatnot. And if you feel like you've been treated unfairly, of course, you can reach out to us and we will see what we can do. Can you feel too from Twitch is asking, will you do a rec? Yes, there's a lot of rec stuff behind me. That would be a cool thing for me personally to do, but again, we are focusing on the 1912 not sunken version of it as of now.
Exactly.
So Chris Mo 1944 is asking from YouTube, how much of the models in Demo 3 will we carry out to the alpha? Again, this is something that I elaborated earlier on. Some will go seamlessly over to the new version. Some needs to a little bit hands on in it. And this is a very technical question. I love when I get very technical questions. So Pete Tyler's World from YouTube is asking, have you considered using sectors when rendering the ship in a game? An example, only rendering the parts of the ship that are visible. What you're referring to is so-called level streaming. And this is something that was in game before, and this is something that we will even more heavily use it, which allows then for greater detail and more in depth of stuff. And this is my final question that I'm going to answer is, how will the support for Britannic Patroness of the Mediterranean work while the game is being made? So the thing is that the fixes that we do are not time intense, but the thing is that we have to communicate also with, what was his name again? I forgot his name. Levi, exactly. Sorry, I'm very bad with names, so this is my very huge handicap. It's not like I don't care. It's like this is the thing that does not stuck in my head, and I'm working on it. So yes, this is something that we have to sit down with Levi and evaluate. Like, what is the priority? What are we gonna do? So it's not gonna be left empty. It's gonna be developed, but this is not where our main focus is on. Yeah, this is what I wanted to say. And yes, then
Great.
I will hand it off to you.
Sure. So we just have a few things to cover, and then we're all out of here. And this next thing is pretty big. This has been under development for a little bit, and we're very excited about it. And it's in a video, and I'm gonna press play on this video and.
Behold.
Here we go. And reminder to Dominic, your audio will still be on during the video because I can't figure out how to turn it off. Here we go.
Don't worry. There you go.
So enjoy this little surprise. Yeah, that video is incredible. Dominic, who made that?
This is made by Mattes Berger here from in Germany. He's a very good friend and a studio colleague of mine. He's studying VFX, and he's doing like a lot of mumbo jumbo with his Houdini program that I have no idea about. And this is what turned out. And again, if you just notice, we have a new logo.
New look for THG. I think we all agreed we needed a new look because we have a new direction. We have a new game, basically. We have a new approach. We have a new culture. We have new outreach. We have so many new things, and so to accompany that is that awesome logo, and that really cool video going through different parts of the ship. So I hope you guys like that. I hope the sound was good, and the music in there as well, which you guys have. I saw in the chat, people were enjoying the epic music from the intro as well. All this stuff that was the music's made by Dominik Hecker, not this Dominic on
Nope,
over
not
there,
me.
not that Dominic. So yeah, new logo. And in addition to that, we have another cool thing to show off, and this features our new logo right on top. Let me bring up our brand new. Hold on, wait for it. Where to go? Oh yeah, here we go.
The website is down.
Our,
Sorry.
no, it's not. I got it. No, yeah, there we go. It's up right now. I have it. Do you have it? It should be on the screen. So this is our new website. It's a little the image, the video that's playing behind the logo. It's a little jolty because my internet is being pushed to the absolute maximum right now. But our website made by Andy Kane is up and running, or it should be up and running. Perhaps maybe it's not up right now, but by the end of the day we will have it up, and it's got some new stuff to look at. And this is where you can go for all of your Titanic honor and glory needs. And that's a nice look at our Titanic honor and glory logo. So that is that. We've shown that. And a little thing, just so everybody knows. Right now, that is the logo, or that's the website. But soon there will also be a dark mode for the website, as well as it will be available in English, German, Spanish, Portuguese, French, Italian, Russian, and Mandarin. So much more languages for everybody out there who needs it. So that is Dominic. You need to talk a little bit about joining the crew, I believe.
Yes. So again, greetings from Andy. He tried to pull it online, but there's a bug going on, so it should be on any moment. So apologize. The version that has been shown for you is like the back-end version, like a backup version, but it will be up soon. But moving on. So there will be a section or many ways to contact and contribute with us. So one of the things is, let's say you are a hobby 3D artist and you like to, build things, and you say, hey, I want to build, I don't know, this teapot or whatever, and I want to have it in a game. You can do that. So we will have a section on the website where you can apply for being part of this journey. And what you need to do is go into the drop-down menu in the contact area and say, okay, I want to contribute with a 3D mesh or something. And then you write down a little bit about yourself. So I learned a little bit like, okay, are you a first-day modeler? Are you modeling for a couple months or a year or something? Are you a professional modeler? I don't know. Something to introduce yourself, also with a link from Dropbox or OneDrive or whatever platform, with a little zip file in it, and that contains your model, and then we'll have a look at it and get back to you if we can sit down and work together. Same goes for contacting the bug team, meaning like you're playing the alpha and there's a bug going on, you can contact that and really in detail fill out like what is it going. Same goes with community. Let's say you have a brilliant idea that James can incorporate into a stream, into the game, or whatsoever. You can contact us there as well. And yes, so I think that's been basically it, right?
Yeah, I think it's time for our little giveaway
Yes.
situation. So we have Dominic. What are we giving away?
Okay, we're giving away a cup, a mug. So it's not this one. It's this one is from Harry Potter, but it's gonna be like this one. It's gonna be printed, and they're gonna be only 2 existing in this world. Not even we gonna keep one. It's our very first item that will be imprinted with our new logo, and everybody from the team is going to sign it digitally. Otherwise, we'll have to send it like for a 3 months tour over the world. And so we're gonna digitally sign it on here, and then we're gonna 2 cups available on here, and the reason why is two, because it would be unfair to match the Twitter, the Twitch
Right.
watcher viewers with the YouTube viewers. So, James, go away and ask
Yeah.
who we
So
can win that.
we are going to ask a trivia question. This is what I decided. We're going to ask a trivia question, and the first person to get it correct in the comments gets the mug. And so we'll have a mug for Twitch and YouTube. So first person. So to our team members who are currently watching on Twitch and YouTube, keep an eye out for the correct answer. I sadly didn't think of well, I have a backup. Let's go with first person to put, just being what this new phase of our game is. First person to put this is good, the day of the week that the Titanic was launched on, the day of the week. Not I don't care what, the 31st or whatever. I want a first person to say the day of the week. And I suppose this is easily gotten around. You could just start naming days of the week. But if that's how you win, oh well, you cheated the system. Cool. So while that's happening, hopefully somebody can send Dominic or I, whoever won that, so we can say who won the thing. Let us know. But that's sort of it for us, you guys. So just while the answers are coming in, I'll just hit this one more time. So free alpha is coming out in Q4 of 2021, which is October 1st to December 31st. Around that time, we will narrow it down as we go. The first available area will be the Forecastle deck, and it will be available for free for everybody. But if you donate $10 or more per month to our Patreon, you get the Forecastle deck and the Well deck, and you will remain one release ahead of everybody else. That will last all the way through B deck, and when B deck is finished, the free alpha will end. And here's a little tidbit: the B deck free alpha will remain out there for everybody for free. It'll be sort of like another demo 4 of sorts, so you can still explore that. But if that's not enough for you, and you want more Titanic, you can continue the journey of us building this ship by either being someone who donated $50 or more in the past, or if you purchase a copy of the game at that time, or if you are a Patreon, and you will continue to get those early updates. And then once the entire ship is finished, that's the end of phase 1, and then we'll start diving into some of those bigger modes that you kind of need the full ship for anyway, such as sinking mode, story mode, those types of things. We're going to want the full ship finished to be able to implement those things. And then, yeah, that's sort of it. And then more features will be added, and then the alpha will be over when the game is ready for beta, and we can test things out. And then soon the process will be complete. Dominic, did anyone contact you about who won the
Yes,
questions?
so we have our first winner. So the answer is obviously Wednesday, something that I did not know.
I feel like isn't it on Dominic? You may not know this, but I feel like there's a ticket for admission to the launching, and I think it says Wednesday on it. I'm seeing it in my brain, but I didn't know either. I wouldn't have been. I probably would have said for Monday, but Wednesday sounds good too.
Yeah. So it is Gully3SP on Twitch. Congratulations.
Congratulations,
sir.
Gully.
I don't know if it's a sir or a lady, so I'm gonna say sir lady.
Them. We will contact you and get this mug to you.
Yes, we will contact you. Just contact us on either our website or our Discord with proof that you are you. So
Sure.
Don't worry, we're gonna check that. And Derek, can you just pull me the winner of YouTube?
Let's see. Let me make sure while we wait for that. Let me make sure I showed everything that I wanted to show, because we had so much to show you guys. You know what? We'll show that video one more time before we go.
Yes.
just for fun. And then, yeah, how about this? I'll show this while we wait. Again,
Yes.
these are the live streams that are coming up. Devstream number 3 with Zeno, and then we're going to have a first look at log entries with Derek. And those are on our Twitch and our YouTube, just like you guys are watching right now. And those are hosted by me. Do we have a winner yet?
I'm still wait. No, I'm not. Unfortunately, not. I'm still waiting.
Okay. I have some super chats, I believe. Let me just
go ahead.
I'll try and get through as many as I can. I think I just got a whole bunch. Oh man, there's so many. Cool. Oh wait, no. Okay, that's good. Different times of the day. That was the last one that I did, I think. Says who you, I believe, says if we have skills that could contribute to this project and we want to volunteer as a worker to contribute, make the game, what process should we go through doing that? So as Dominic mentioned, we're going to have a form on the website for you to send models in. Already some people have sent me, if you're a voiceover actor or a writer of scripts specifically, or I guess if you want to get into that too, if you're like a writer of other things, but writing dialogue is very different than being like a book writer, but you know, you could try something new. People have been sending emails to us. You can, I suppose, send it to our contact email, and we do get a lot of them, and I assure you that everyone that we have gotten since I have jumped into the creative director's chair, I've listened to all of them. So I have listened to your little recordings that you've sent, and I'm very impressed by a lot of people. Voiceovers are a little bit farther down the road towards story mode time in further phases of the alpha, but I'm sure we will have no shortage of people wanting to participate in that respect. If there's other things you do, yeah, send us an email, contact@vintagedigitalrev.com. Especially if you're a modeler, if you're if you're these.
No, we have new email addresses. You can give the new email address now.
Oh, that's true. Do you have it? We did this today.
So, so regarding what area it was?
Just if you want to help in any way aside from maybe modeling or whatever.
That really depends on what you are. So that really depends on what you are contributing. So if you just put put Penca at vdr-games.com or community at vdr-games.com, you should be covered and fine.
We'll get these new addresses out there so you guys can contact us if that is the case. So that's that. XAQ85, $5. No more questions from me. Just a donation to say thanks for all the hard work. Thank you so much. Taylor Lewis, $5. No question. Just want to say how happy I am to see you all excited about this project again. Me too. It's so nice. Can't even put it into words. Been following for a long time. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much, Taylor. Other than contributing money, what's the best way for us to can help this giant project? Yeah, of course, contributing money, and then as we mentioned, if you reach out and send in models or whatnot, that's it. And then also playing the alpha and letting us know what it's like, what you think, what you want to be better. If we mess something up, if something's not working, you can help us in that way. I believe that
also you can. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Also, you can create content. So if you're a YouTuber, don't worry. You can do videos about us. You can spread the word. And this is something where we might even show you the little slide where we show all our social media channels and everything that we have available.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you can put that up.
Oh,
and we also have a winner.
Oh, we have a winner. Let's do that.
Yes. So we have obviously a winner from YouTube. Drum, please. We don't have a drum song yet. Next time, maybe. It's going to be Brittany, obviously. So congratulations, Brittany, on the cup, the mug, and yeah, enjoy it. Have fun with it, and yeah, cheers.
Cheers. Well put. All right, I think I only have two more, and then we're gonna sign off here. So I believe that last question was from Grandmaster Yoda, €5. I believe, yeah. I don't know actually. It's hard to tell who says what. I'm sorry. When will the alpha release? We have not. We have not. Sorry, I'm reading too many things at once. We talked about that, so that question was answered. I hope. And yes, I'm seeing that the website is not up yet. Okay, we will get that up soon. So Philip Mueller, I'm gonna say that's how you pronounce that, for €5. I have sent €45 earlier. That's enough for a copy of the game when it is released. $45. If that's a question, is that enough? I think we have to figure out euro to US dollars. We'll figure that out and let you know. And then Brittany one, cool, great. And then last question, and this will be my last super chat question. Sorry if you get in after this. MacNerd93 for €1.99 says, "Are you reprising your role as Robin in the alpha?" No, I will not be doing Robin. A lot of people on the Discord have been asking about Robin. They want to know how he's doing. Robin's doing just fine. So he will not be in THG moving forward. Robin was a creation of myself and Thomas Linsky, our previous creative director, something that we sort of created together in a fit of laughter because it was always so funny to write lines for him. Tom wrote the lines. I made them weird. So sadly, Robin will no longer be in THG, but he is not necessarily gone forever. We'll leave it at that. Let's go out with the bang that is that video because it's so good. So I'm going to play this video and then we will be gone. So on behalf of everybody on the team, I'm James. Dominic, you want to say
Dominic.
bye-bye? You're all right.
And I want to thank you for your patience and your kindness. And I see all the little purple hearts on Twitch. I see the hearts on YouTube. And again, it's been a blast. We planned for an hour and we had so much fun. It's been an hour and 40 minutes. So thank you so much.
Yes,
for
guys.
all the support and the patience.
Yes, thank you very much. We're excited to get this going. So let's go out with this video one more time. We will see you in 2 weeks, if not before. Bye, everybody.